Hello guys, today we're going to talk about the history of the M1 Abrams, how it was created, its firepower, its armor, speed, the combat, like every nice fact that it has about the Abrams, we're going to speak it here today in this video. So without further ado, let's get into the video about this amazing machine. So the history of the M1 Abrams starts in the 1960s, the time when the tensions of the Cold War were really high. Like faced with the need to replace the aging M60 tank, the United States partnered with West Germany to develop the MBT-70. This ambitious project was loaded with an innovative ideas aimed at creating a tank like no other. However, when the test began in the 1968, it became clear that the MBT-70 was struggling to to achieve those ambitions that the Germans and the Americans had for the tank. But by the time of 1970, the partnership with Germany was actually over. The US decided to go alone, and they started a new project that it was the XM803. It was like a cheaper version of the MBT-70, designed to be more cost effective and American parts. Despite of the hopes and cutting out some budget, the XM8 project soon found itself mirroring the complexity of the MBT-70. So the Congress definitely uh, pulled the plug in the XM803 in the 71s. So after the failure of the XM803 program, the government needed a new one, and this one was called the XM1 project. That it was a really nice race between Chrysler and General Motors. This race was ended up winning by Chrysler, and it ended up creating the M1 Abrams that we know today. And this new Abrams actually ended up being with a 105 millimeter gun, a turbine engine that was really innovative for that days. That it was really low consumption fuel, but it was really efficient and really fast at the same time. So this new Abrams actually caused a lot of problems, but it ended up being with a nice upgrade that it ended up being in the M1A1, that it actually started their first combat experience in the Persian Gulf War against the Iraqi T-72s that were really old for the M1 Abrams. But the Abrams just absolutely melted those tanks, and they proved their effectiveness in the sand and with the thermals that the T-72s didn't have, and they showed the how good those tanks could be if they were used in a really good way. Despite some setbacks and friendly fire incidents, the Abrams emerged from that conflict being a really good tank, and it was the top tank of that era. So in the aftermath of the Persian Gulf War, the Abrams underwent a series of upgrades to enhance its effectiveness on the battlefield. Combat identification panels were added to reduce the friendly fire incidents, while crew were equipped with anti-tank weapons for urban engagements. Additional storage capacity was provided for the Basel rack extension, enabling crews to carry more supplies. The introduction of the M1A2 brought forward improvements, including a commander's independent thermal viewer, a digital data integration for enhanced situational awareness. But now the Abrams actually faced new combat in the Iraq War, but here had new challenges, including the anti-tank missiles and the roadside bombs. But despite of that, the Abrams proved how lethal it can be, and his armor that was really good. But these vulnerable spots they were faced, they actually managed to get through it with the Tusk armor, the survival kit. So this was really good for these anti-tank missiles and the roadside bombs, and it proved how his effectiveness with no tank losses at that time. So after the experience in war, it showed up how important is the well-trained crew of the Abrams to make it really good and really effective. And it also showed up how important are the tanks for a good support to the infantry. So right now the Abrams is actually in combat in Ukraine that the US government sent to Ukraine to defend itself. It's proving how good it can be, but it's actually showing up how vulnerable they can be too, because the modern war that we have today is about drones. Drones for me are being a really big problem for any kind of vehicle or infantry. So the Abrams have been some Abrams have been destroyed in the Ukraine war, and I think it was because of drones, because drones are really hard to identify, and they go like kamikaze mode, and they destroy the tanks really easily, or make it out of service, getting his engine or tracks, so they cannot move, and they ended up bailing out the from the tank. So that's the Abram, guys. That's the Abrams that we have today. But by now the General Dynamics actually showed up the Abram X. That is a new version of the Abrams. It looks really modern, but we have to look what the information that they can provide about this new tank and the good capability that it could have, how it can be in wars, how effective it can be. So I want you guys to tell me what do you think about the Abrams and also about the tanks. Tanks in modern combat, if you think they still should exist, or if you think that they are not effective. Here in War Thunder we actually have like 7 variants of the Abrams. That is the first one, that it comes with the 105mm gun, straight to the M1A1, the IPM1, improved protection, and the M1A2s, and the last but not least, the M1A2 SEP P2. It's like the best one that we have in game right now. That it comes with a lot of armor package. This ERA, that is for urban combat if I'm not wrong, have an Atom 50 cost, and it looks pretty nice. So yeah, guys, that was the short story of the Abrams. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of different format, like short stories. I like to read some history of the tanks. I like that a lot. And I have to improve a lot of things, but yeah, that's how we started. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like it, if you have any comment to say, make sure to leave it in the comment. Anything to improve, I will read it for sure. Thank you everyone. So I hope you guys have a nice day or a nice night, and see you in the next one, guys.